Instead, Biafra will not come in 2023. We will burn down Nigeria and still Biafra will come. Do you understand me? When we say we will burn down Nigeria, some people will shout, oh, go and arrest him. Go and arrest him. These are fools. Complete fools. You think we are scared of saying we are going to burn down Nigeria? Who will burn down Nigeria? You think war is to come and cement your house? You think fighting war for your freedom is to come to your house and cement it? Or to go to government houses and put a pillar so that it will not fall? You think fighting for freedom is not about burning down? We're going to burn down Nigeria. And after burning it down, Biafra will still come. So the choice is yours. It is not, I want you to make this video go viral. I am saying it today, the 6th of November 2022. If you do not give Biafra freedom, and if we do not get freedom in 2023, and if we do not fight for the freedom and get it, we are going to burn Nigeria down. And after burning it down, we are still going to get our Biafra.
Fortunately, we don't reason like that. Anybody thinking that Igbo presidency 2023 will stop us? What we want is Biafra, and what we're going to get is Biafra.
No. What should I do? It's what we expect to have. But I want our people to be very calm. I want Biafra land to be calm, and peaceful. Calm and very, very peaceful. We are fighting to defend our people, not to kill them. Yes, we are fighting to defend them. That's why I'm here. Yes, and we'll continue to do so until we get victory.
Declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land. Yes, I want to thank you all for joining. Welcome to another day of a special live broadcast, Evidence History on Biafra Global Network. Thank you for joining. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and today is the 15th day of November 2022. Today is Tuesday, and I want to welcome you all to Evidence History. This is a special program that concentrates on historic facts that concerns us in relation to what we need to do to get out of the odds of history and to restore freedom and continue to enjoy the benefits of freedom as a people. And that is why we study history, to make sure that we have records of the things that happened in the past, and so that we will be able to know how to deal with the present for the future, to have a better expectation and progress. And so on this note, I want to welcome you to this live broadcast, wherever you are, all over the nations of the world, wherever you're watching from. I say thank you. I say thank you, and I say thank you. I always appreciate you guys for always joining in as soon as I come on. And also, I want to welcome Chukwu Okike on this hallowed platform. He is the only one we worship, and the cause of worship and the things that we do here are all by his grace and mercy. And that is why the first thing we do is that we give him the recognition that he deserves. And that is why the first thing we do is that we worship him and tell him, Chukwu, come take your place here in the minds of your people and in what we do. I want to thank you all for joining in. Today is the 110th day, of course, 110 days to Biafra freedom. And in spite of the distractions and the attacks from every corner, we are moving forward. Water Promax has begun. And so it is strongly going to destroy. It is an automatic destruction of every force of attack from any corner. We have known and we have seen the treachery of Barrister Ejiofor, and he is nobody. He cannot take us aback. He has he thought he has won the minds of Biafrans with all his shenanigans and his reports. And every time the court case comes up, he comes on as as a superstar, comes to write some nonsense, to us. He has been writing those things since last year. I kept telling people that this man is a sellout, but people think I'm attacking him. I posted messages to him directly, and he blocked me on Facebook last year, and he has been like that. Of course, we know he's a sellout. When we see sellouts, we know how they operate. And now it is evident by his reportage and his actions that he is a sellout. And so we know where to place such kinds of people. His time has come to an end. And you know what the spirit of Biafra does. It knows how to bring you out, rubbish you out, especially when you are contrary to the movement and when you are working contrary to the people. It knows how to bring you out and expose you. And interestingly, you will always expose yourself. This is evident in his last write-up after the court. You saw his approach, you saw his body language, you saw everything, trying to make keep the narrative for the Nigeria government and the caliphate, for them to keep on so that the election will hold in Biafra land. But he messed up by that interview he granted to one of those e-frogs platforms, the platforms of e-frogs. He messed up his body language, as you saw what Mazi Simonepa analyzed yesterday. But definitely I'm going to be looking at that tomorrow, and I'm going to be making my analysis based on that too, because tomorrow we have Tide of Affairs, Tide of Affairs. And that is where we talk Tide of Affairs. That is where we talk about local current affairs and international current affairs that are happening all over. But today we're looking at history and basically looking at the evidences we have about history that come to play when it comes to what we are doing. I want to thank you, Chibike Obina. You are the first to write today. I want to thank you, and I say welcome to this live broadcast, and also thank you for writing and also giving us a note. Thank you so much. Kemefuna, thank you so much for also joining. I also want to appreciate you for being here. Of course, Chibike is all the way from Istanbul. He's here. Thank you so much, my brother, for your greeting. I want to thank you also, Ikemefuna, for joining. Hello, my brother. We know what all are up to now in the time of discount him forever and for real. Yes, we know what they are up to. We understand him by his body language. We understand the details of what he is doing. And that is why people like us would always know, discern. God has given us the spirit of discernment in this movement because he has equipped us fully for this. And so as much as we're equipped fully for this, we can discern when the evil people begin to come in. Either we see them or they expose themselves. There's no two ways around it. They must expose themselves, or we shall see their errors and mistakes, and then they shall be called out. We have been saying this in Major for all this while, but Thank God it is now evident by his own actions that he is a sellout. Good day, Mr. Kel. That's from Afri Emmanuel. Your program with the Biafran veterans on Saturday was wow. That was emotional. Barrister Ejiofor is busted and his days are up. Yes, correct. Thank you for the compliment on the program of Saturday. In fact, it was wonderful. We're still going to have them here on Saturday again, and they'll be here live to talk to us 1 p.m. Biafra time. Before we go on, please, I would want to give you some very major news happening all around the world and the activities of the world, because we have to be concerned about the things that go around the world to know how to also determine what goes around us too. And before that, I am going to tell you, please, as you just keep watching, as you're watching, just click the subscribe button and then share this video on all your social media platforms to get people to join us so that they can get also the information that you also are getting. It is very important. Let me tell you something very critical here. It is very important for us to know that please like this video. Like this video. It will help to give attention to the world that something great is happening. And one thing you have to understand is that there's no way we can give information about what we are doing to the world, except we take it as a responsibility to share the activities that we have and the things that we are doing. And that is why the onus is on you to actually, disseminate the information that comes as soon as we are broadcasting. You know, we are working in service to humanity, and at the same time serving you as your Biafran. And what I'm doing here is a service to our nation, Biafra. And it's also a service to you who is a Biafran. And so just like you may not have the time or may have even the capability to actually come like this as I broadcast, or the energy to do that, all you need to do as a support to know that we're on the same page is for you to share on all your social media platforms to get other people to be part of it. Because we all, the job is shared. Everybody have their responsibility, and we do the broadcast, you share it around so that people will get to know what we're doing. So it is very important that you subscribe. At the same time, you share the video on all your social media platforms as you're watching, so that people can begin to join in and become part of this groundbreaking time season of freedom. And remember, it is 110 days to our freedom, and we are set, ever ready, mentally fit, and everything. We are doing everything in our powers, in our power as humans, and of course, with God's help, to actually achieve our freedom. I want to welcome you specially again to this program, Evidence History, on Biafra Global Network. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and today we're looking at Usman Dan Fodio's Masterplan and how the Fulani will fall. In this article we're going to be reading it today. We're going to be doing the final message on Usman Dan Fodio. We have done this is the third part of it. We have done it for 3 weeks now. This is the third week we are doing that, and we want to fully actually deal with the matter and conclusively deal with it so that we can go to other aspects of history. The next history we're going to be looking at somebody like Michael Opara, who was a great man who was here. And of course, we're going to look at several, people in history, and we're going to know what actually we should expect in our new Biafra. The reason why we're looking at Usman Dan Fodio is because he is the basis and the foundational leader of the caliphate, and he was the first caliph, and he actually set a master plan for the caliphate to run with. And that is why you see that the caliphate is running with such master plan. And I'm going to also play a video of Atiku, of course, that expresses that. So I've been playing the other video of the other man, Medu Bello, who was talking about, the predecessor of Usman Dan Fodio, that was talking about, how they shall give job to their people, and if they don't find their people, they will give to an expatriate and all of that. And even if they don't find an expatriate, they're going to give to other people in Nigeria on contract. That means it's permanent with them, but when it comes to you, it's a contract, so that you will be in that contract to run according to their plans and dictates. And so we've played that video over time, but this time around I'm going to play the one of Atiku so that you can relate it to that particular video. Maybe for those who are not conversant with the video I'm talking about, I'm going to play that one of Amadou Bello, and at the same time I'm going to play the one of Atiku, which is current and recent. And of course, I also will want to play a particular video that happened in Ogun State that relates to all of these facts. I'll use it as a description to what is really happening to indigenous people and the Fulanis. as Britain has given them the control and power to control other people, you know. And Onyechi Fluxy, thank you so much for joining. I saw you yesterday on Mazi Samanepa's program. Good day, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Thank you, Onyechi Fluxy, for always keep being in touch and keeping on with us and keeping on with the job, and also always being here to support and also sharing the broadcast and also being part of it in your own way. John Almeida, thank you for good day, bro. Kelechi, thank you so much. I want to thank you for joining. I want to thank you all. Chibike Obina says, yes, bro, look at him yesterday. His body language says it all. There's fire on the mountain for him. There's no rest for the wicked. Yes, his body language actually spelled out all the details of falsehood. You see, when you want to come against the spirit, you will have no place to hide. There's no way you can come against the spirit and not have a place to hide. It is impossible. You can't hide. You see, if I, as I am broadcasting now, if I have any ulterior motive against Biafra and my mind is not genuine about Biafra, one day I'll be exposed. It's as simple as that. See, you can't fight the spirit. You can't fight the spirit. You can't deceive the spirit. You can't manipulate the spirit. The spirit will expose you to the people. Princess E, thank you. Good PM, brother. How are you today? I am fine, Princess. Good to have you. I didn't see you yesterday, but good to have you today. I want to thank you. I don't know whether you joined yesterday, but I didn't see your message anyways. Thank you for joining. Everest Emedo. Thank you, Everest. I have not seen you for a while. Thank you, Mazi Kelechi, for all your good work. You talk about not having problems and celebrating Christmas. What about the commercialization of Christmas? Okay, we're going to be talking about that on Sunday. That means you were here on Sunday. Okay. On Sunday, we're going to be dealing with all those aspects of religion, you know, things that have to do with religious practices. You know, that is a concept of religion. So I'm going to be talking about that. Please remind me on Sunday, 1 p.m. Biafra time, this same question so that I can answer this question very correctly and appropriately also. Of course, I can give you, a concept from scripture. Anyways, we're going to talk about it extensively on Sunday, 1 p.m. Biafra time on Back to Base program. So thank you for bringing up that question. Please keep it on and prepare it for Sunday, please. I beg you, so that we can talk about it. I want to thank you, Princess A. Good PM, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Yes. Okay, you said yesterday. I joined yesterday, but was late due to working. Okay, work meetings. Okay. I think I think maybe you sent a message to that effect, but I read it also. Maybe I've forgotten also because you were talking about just joining. Okay, yes, thank you so much for always being here. Emmanuel Afure says that so-called Umuchiki writers who are actually Ekwensu claim they are fighting for Biafra, why they are parading themselves in Abuja while on DSS why no DSS harass them. It shows they are working for the zoo. In the first place, those people who call themselves Umuchiko writers, don't you see that they are incompetent? If you look at the way they broadcast and the way they ask their questions, you know that these people are just, e-frogs that were gathered for, they know that they can't use any reasonable people. Check out all the e-frogs and all their platforms. You'll discover that these people actually know that they can't use any reasonable people. No reasonable person will want to be contracted by them to actually join them. Check the difference between autopilot and them. You discover the great difference, in broadcasting and all that we do. Professionally, you can't imagine somebody like me, going to be contracted by them, because I know what freedom entails. I know what freedom represents. I know what it means to stand for the truth. So nobody, just check them out. Check how they ask questions. Check out how they move and how they carry themselves. Check out the way they operate and the way they operate their things. You discover that they are all unorganized. And their best hand is the one they call El Chico, also the one that calls himself a philosopher. You check him out and see how he tries to explain details. You discover that he just becomes foolish in the end, and that's how it is. So, the Umuchiku and all of that stuff is just a name. They just brand it a name to actually mislead people, but they don't have content. Look at it, no content, nothing. Empty people, empty and just like something built but empty and is insignificant, signifying nothing. So that's what they are, John Almeida. I like when you use the word concepts because I use it as well. All right. Thank you so much. Anyways, so I'm going to be going straight. I want to look at the details of the news that's going on. Of course, we know that today, yesterday, and today, the G20 summit is going on in Indonesia, and the countries that are represented, including Russia, represented by one of his Putin represented, there by one of his ministers also in that meeting, and all of them decided to say that the war in Ukraine is illegal. And they say also that the war and use of nuclear weapon in the war is inadmissible. So Russia does not have any power to continue that war. They have to withdraw, and all of that. These are the details that are given, in that light. And of course, we know that and the war is not actually, we don't actually want that war to happen. And of course, we want things to get normalized, because even if we say Ukraine and Russia were part of those who actually bombarded us and were working against us, we still know that human beings are involved. And of course, we want that war to end. And of course, today, a child that was born today made the world population to become 8 billion. 8 billion people in the world right now, according to the world statistics. Today, the child that was born today, anywhere in the world that was born first today, made the population of the world to become 8 billion. And of course, it's also declared that in every 2 seconds, 2 children are born. Every 2 seconds you have children, 2 children being born. And of course, in the past 11 years, we have had 1 billion people added to the population of the world. So in 11 years, we have 1 billion people added. And now we know that the population is now 8 billion. And of two people born seconds makes it that in each day we have over 200,000 people, or about 200,000 people born to the world. So you discover that we're increasing, and yet China is over. You can imagine the population of China, but yet it is Africa that is their problem. They feel that Africans should die. They should create vaccines and create some stuff, and Africans are too populated. Their concern is the whole of Africa, whereas the population of China alone, is massive, and so much. So you can imagine what is going on in the world. And of course, we know that all these are just to fight against Africa and all of that. But anyways, we know that Africa will always bear the brunt of every attack and every situation that goes around. In the world. I like you when you use the word concept. Okay, that's Ahmed, I have said that. We have our guest already in the studios, but before I bring him on, as we join in forces to actually do what we have to do today, as much as we know how to do them, let me conclude in the displaying the displays of your messages in the next 2 minutes before I bring him in, and then we continue with the program that we have. Greetings, Biafrans. Emenike Chibo, thank you so much. And of course, I have Chukwudi here also. Chukwudi doing his own. He says that Chukwudi Anyino, okay, brother. Okay, you wanted to say brother, you wrote brother. Okay, brother, you are so much. We love you. We love you, all of you. Thank you so much, my brother Chukwudi. I love you guys too. From here, I love you guys. And that is why I'm doing the work I'm doing, because I want to serve Biafra. Good afternoon, Dotland Media. Emenike. Thank you so much, Emenike. Biafra Nation, God bless. And MNK, God bless MSC. God bless all autopilot leaders and family. Thank you so much, Biafra Nation. Thank you, Biafra Nation, for that. And thank you. And also, we have a water is the code from Forever One Forever. Forever One Forever. Thank you so much, Joel Almeida. You said 8 billion, excluding undocumented ones in Africa. Of course, we know that the figure is not always accurate, but anyways, by statistics and how they measure it, they're able to. They know that Africa's statistics is always porous. So we don't understand all those kinds of Chinyere Eze. Chinyere is the name of my sister too. Greetings, Biafrans. Thank you so much, Chinyere, for joining. We have Naji, Emmanuel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Emmanuel. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now set for the course of, later I'm going to go into the messages as usual. Towards the end of the program, I'll start now reading the messages as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, we are already in the course of our program, and I want to invite, I want to bring on stage, our guests who has always been here and who is here as, of course, every Tuesday. He has dedicated that he's going to be joining us here. A special one, a comrade, a very, very dedicated one for that matter, who has been standing tall and defending Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and have been there strongly for this massive cause of freedom and dedication to the cause of freedom of Biafrans. And he has stood for the truth at all times. Even when the odds are there, he still stands for the truth. And in spite of that fact, he has been evidently truthful and also pursuing the cause and standing tall in the cause of freedom and doing the work of serving Biafrans and serving you and I, as a comrade in this disposition of freedom, which Ochukwu Okike has mandated him and every other Biafran. And without wasting time, I bring to you Mazi Chiamaka Ajere. Thank you so much, Mazi. You're welcome. Please say hello to Biafrans. You're muted. I think you're muted. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like my screen is
yes. Yes.
I don't know what I something is wrong somewhere. I need
I think
look for the settings.
There's an adjustment that needs to be done. Yes.
Yeah, and honestly don't know what I honestly don't know what I did to the settings.
Or maybe you go out and come in again, maybe to balance up. What do you think?
I don't think even the video I posted this morning came, something must be wrong somewhere. I really need to check. I'm going to manage it this way, brother.
Okay. And welcome, Mazi. You're good. We're good to have you here today.
Thank you. Greet you all, fellow Biafrans, autopiloted IPO. We are on course to make history, and by every one of you that have committed a liberation movement, you will have a because we are on the right track, and we have the backing of hell. Going to get the trophy. Chuko Kabiama is with us, and majority. It doesn't matter how many of them are up against us. We are up and we are getting it.
Yes,
I can assure you that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mazi. You're welcome. Nowadays, keep up the good work. Thank you. And of course, John Almeida say I love your program. Very educative. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much for that compliment. Mazi, everything about you is amazing. Wajina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And of course, our guest, Emilike says, greetings, Chiamaka Jerity with you. Thank you. He's here and he's going to justice to the things we're going to be talking about. Good afternoon, Biafrans. Clement says, and of course, we want to also appreciate the dragon himself, the one who is actually making us proud, who actually his resilience, his zest, his abilities, his dedication, and his keeping to the promise he has made to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the cause of freedom has actually become the template, or have become the bedrock on which we are floating, and at the same time the ship that is conveying us to our freedom. We want to appreciate Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is a dedicated disciple, the spiritual son of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also the dragon who has decided to put an end to criminality and to the activities of evil people in the cause of our freedom. I thank you so much, Mazi Simon Ekpa. We are thanking you, the Autopilot Media team. You're represented here. We are thanking you. We are appreciating you for all that you are doing for the cause of the mandate that you have decided to keep faith to and keep faith on. Thank you so much for joining us. Without wasting time, I'm going to be before we go into the issue of this Usman Dan Fodio and completing the narrative about him. Mazi Chiamaka, this funny procedure of trying to make us relax with the legal concept of dealing with this matter. People are talking about freedom. Some people are making us want to depend on our enemies or the oppressor to actually determine how we move with our freedom. It's so funny to see, and it's so critical also to understand that people who call themselves knowledgeable, actually want to hoodwink the people to actually regulate their mode of fighting for their freedom based on the oppressor's courts process. What do you think about that, please?
It's so unbelievable for people who has been following Mazi, seeing what he went through, what he had been through, and where he is now is because of their judicial system. This is a man who, it was like, the eye of a needle, and he was able to got that bail and subjecting himself to that bail until they came to kill him. just from by the life, and then they keep saying he jump, and they went extra mile, collaborated with some, and they kidnapped him and brought him back, and all these were doing this up and down and up and down. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have told people are brutes, they are like animals, and he has made it clear that the only way we can get the revolution, and he is the man they
please,
targeting.
maybe you have to, I don't know whether you have to go out and come in, because the audio is actually breaking, so we're not getting the details of what you're saying clearly. I want Biafran to hear everything you say, so that we can get the details fully. I don't know. I think the audio is kind of distorted, so that we can get the full narrative of what you're saying, because you're making some basic points here. He'll soon be back. Very, 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 very interesting points he's making there, and I want to thank you all, Biafrans. And of course, you see, it has become better. That's why I said go out and come in. You see, it is now better. Oh my God, it has now better. So please go on with.
Yeah.
Go on, please.
So if you have been under the tutelage of this heavenly child, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is a child of divinity. He's a child of heaven. He is Nwa Chineke personified. He has told you people that these people don't obey court orders. These are evil people. These are brutes. These are animals. These are jackals. He called them Janjaweed. And you understood clearly every message he has given to you. And having come to this juncture, you still want to believe that these same people that have made Mazin Nnamdi Kanu their target would release him from their quota system judicial bastards, I call them. I got angry when people are saying that we are depending on court order to release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. They are not the court will, the legal team will do this, the legal team will do that. Legal team, they can only be effective as much rebellious as we are. The way we are rebellious on the field and on ground to the system that kidnapped Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, as much as brutal and dogged we are, stubborn to this government, rebellious to them, as much as we are to them, that is how easy it will be to the legal team. That is why somebody like Ifeanyi Ejiofor is such an evil demon that knows very well the system that he's operating under. And that is why anybody that is trying to be sympathetic with Ifeanyi Ejiofor, I see them as sons of Lucifer. I see them as evil demons that want to defend darkness. Because this is a system that will never obey anything that is just. There is evil. Everything about Nigeria is evil. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has told you. And he has told you that the only way you can get your freedom is by rising up against these people. You can't get it by peaceful means. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have tried everything peaceful with these bastards. And he knows that he couldn't get it. And that is why we were able to set up Eastern Security Network to secure our land. Not peacefully. We are not going to secure our land peacefully. Eastern Security Network have never been securing our land peacefully with the Fulanis, because the Fulanis, they come to kill and to destroy. So they are positioned where they are positioned to destroy them, to eradicate them as much as they can. With whichever force they come with, we give it back to them the way they come. It is not by peaceful means that Eastern Security Network have been able to keep our land safe. It was by brutal confrontation. And that's what we've been doing. And if you think these evil people will give you what you want peacefully, you are just dreaming. You are dreaming. There's no way they could. The only thing they understand is the language of violence, war. And when you come against them with that mindset. We are not a violent people. We don't believe in violence. But when you come against us, there is that instinct in us that knows how to fight back. And we do not relent when we give it back to you. And that's why we call it water. And now we have graduated to the pro-max level of that water. And we'll give it to them whichever way they come.
Mazi Raf, you see, from what you have said, of course, we have been able to establish one of the master templates for Fulani's approach to trying to defeat a people. That means the approach of violence. You know, they actually ride on the template of violence to actually carry out this. And of course, this act of violence, or this act of violence, I call it act, and at the same time I call it art, because these are two levels of it. It's an art. Then every of their Sharia concept is actually embedded as an art on the act, itself that is being carried out. Now we can see that, of course, in the issue of Usman Dan Fodio, and which we are going to analyze soon now when we go into that now. But first, I want to say this. You see, it is interesting to know, according to what Mazi Simon Ekpa said yesterday, Ifeanyi Ejiofor doesn't even know what an extraordinary rendition is. As a lawyer, and it can tell now that this tells us that actually the work he has been doing all this while for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is either he's keeping himself diabolically in the system to continue to be in that system, or manipulating everything to make himself so relevant. Now he doesn't know what extraordinary rendition it was. Aloy Ejimakor that was able to educate him and bring up that stuff, and which on that premise he is riding to talk about victory. Which of course means that Aloy Ejimakor is actually supposed to be the one who actually should be, on this. But because of the manipulative style and behavior of this guy, he has been able to actually put everything into that, Now, I don't know what's happening in the system. Okay, something's happening. My system has shape of okay, it's back. Okay, now on this point comes to me now. Now, if you observe what Mazi Simon Ekpa said yesterday, he also said that obviously, even it's not what Simon Ekpa said, it is what he actually said. You can imagine that the courts said or read out another case, that case having another case number, and with that case number, the court is still saying that they don't have jurisdiction and they don't have ability to actually try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't have that right, that local standing to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yet there's another case file that has been opening, which was read yesterday, and yet this man, the so-called barrister, now said that the court, they are no more going to be coming to that same court, that as soon as the Supreme Court gives the judgment, that is final. And Mazi Ekpa was able to reveal to us that as soon as that is done, just like, they tried that in one certain time with somebody. I'm trying to remember the person. After the court dismissed and all of that, as the person was going, they rearrested him and took him back to jail. They say there are new charges. Another beginning of another case. Now, why would Mazi, not Mazi now, anyways, what's his name now? I've forgotten his name. Barrister Ejiofor. Why would Ejiofor manipulate the people? Is it not on the premise that he's ignorant about the process of the law, and at the same time, or maybe he's trying to make Biafrans relax so that they keep buying time as the zoo is planning to actually keep the people until they overwhelm the people, so that the same way the election happened in Anambra, it will happen in the zoo. What do you think about that?
Now, Mazi Simon Ekpa, our excuse me, our spokesperson, have done a good job in that. So many people that were not thinking before can now be placing these things. They can now be solving this puzzle. Now it is no longer a secret to so many of us that have now seen it. So many people have been talking about it. And there are so many things that Mazi Simon Ekpa knew, but he was giving the benefit of the doubt to this bastard. Excuse me. He was giving the benefit of the doubt to this bastard that calls himself a barrister. You should not attach barrister to his name. He's an idiot. Because how can you say that these people confronted you and they told you that they don't have any right, there is nothing they can say about this matter, that the matter is closed, and they're opening another file to a matter that have been closed? Doesn't make any sense. And you are buying into it, and you're coming to serve that demonic narrative to the people of God. And each time you see him opening his mouth and say, Umuchineke, you a prodigal son of the devil that comes to tell us that something that where there is no way, that the way have been closed. You are telling us that they said there is no way there, but there is still way. Does it make any sense? That this man, what they did was they committed criminal offenses. First, they must obey that court order that says, send him back to where you took him from. So there wouldn't even be any room of any rearrest or anything. Because, excuse me, man, I don't know what's wrong with it. There shouldn't be any room of a rearrest. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be already at the place where they took him from before any discussion will be taking place in the zoo.
That's it.
So there shouldn't be any room for any discussion. But this bleaching cream idiot come out and keep saying, it is done and dusted. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not even there in the court. And he said it's done and dusted. What is done and dusted, for goodness sake? You see what is happening in that zoo right now? Soludo is even rising up and telling that Peter Obi is just joking. That there is nothing like election for him, that he cannot win. Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who is buying time for these idiots, for these blood-sucking demons, he knows, just like Soludo knows, that all this thing is a joke, that they are not going anywhere. So these evil people have been bought to distract this divine mandate and divine project. And that is why we, the people of God, have said, no way. We have no respect for anyone that has collected money from our enemies to keep us in bondage. We are on our way out of the zoo and nothing will stop us. 10 of Ifeanyi Ejiofor will not be able to stop us.
Yeah, 10 of Ifeanyi Ejiofor cannot stop us. How can you stop the spirit? It's impossible. Now, you've made a very, very important point there. Now, of course, we're looking at the template which they are running on now. That template was designed by one man, Usman Dan Fodio. Every southern politician who is actually helping them in the cause of their Fulanization is actually also running on that template. Now, I'm going to read up something, and then I'm going to read up something from the article of about Usman Dan Fodio, and I'm going to play a particular video that speaks of how Atiku is an extension in his word, a cunning and a very devious short clip of about 1 minute where he made, that explanation of this same template we're talking about here. Now, talking about Usman Dan Fodio, we've looked at his birth, we've looked at how he came about and where he originated from, and all that. Now we're looking at something now. They said soon after he became well educated in classic Islamic science, philosophy, and theology, and also became a revered religious thinker, his teacher, Jibrin Ibn Umar, was a powerful intellectual and religious leader at the time, who was a staunch proponent of jihad. That's his teacher. Staunch. Now, jihad simply means terror. That's what it means. Jihad is, Biafrans understand this, jihad simply means terror, to overtake other people using force, takia, and every other means. Now, in 1774, Usman began his itinerant preaching as a Malam and continued preaching for 12 years in Gobir. That's Sokoto now. Imagine, he was in Sokoto, that was called Gabir. He was preaching at that time in Gobir and Kebbi, followed by further 5 years in Zamfara. Among Usman's well-known students include his younger brother, Abdullah, the Hausa king, Yunfa, and many others. You see, he came in and became friends with the oligarchies of the Hausas. He penetrated them with the concept of social revolution. Now, Biafrans, remember we talked about the social revolution last week. Now, let's look at it. Let's go further. Usman criticized Hausa rulers with his writings, condemning them for enslavement, worshiping idols, sacrificial practices, taxation practices, arbitrary rule, and greed. And this the concept here is now talking about taxation. People want tax to be reduced at all times. In fact, if you are coming into power, you tell them how you're going to reduce tax, they will be so happy. They will vote you. That's the concept. So it has been a long time concept. And arbitrary rule and greed. He also insisted on the observance of the Malik fiqh in personal observance as well as in commercial and criminal law. Usman also denounced the mixing of men and women, pagan customs, dancing at bridal feasts, and inheritance practice contrary to Sharia. He was socially getting all of these details into the people. He was so influenced by the mushahada or mystical vision he was having. In 1789, a vision led him to believe he had the power to work miracles and to teach his own mystical word and litany. His litanies are still widely practiced and distributed in the Islamic world. Now, what I want to point out here from this now is that you see,
I have just 10 minutes left, bro. I have 10 minutes left. Eh?
Okay, let me say this. Now, I want you to say something here. Are you there? It seems my network.
Yeah, his network is going bad, but I know you guys can still hear me. Let me quickly respond to something that I needed to talk about. Now, I want you to understand that these people have already programmed the way they are going to take over the country, the business center, because originally it was a business center set up, you know, for them to manage, and they had a program to have it all to themselves eventually. And now all their program is supposed to culminate this year, 2022, and by 2023, it should now become a caliphate. They have determined to have it. And now everybody playing in this their game, they are all evil, agents of darkness. Whether they are your brother, they are your mother, they are your sister, they are from your village, they are agents of darkness. They don't deserve to be alive. They are evil. And Chuko Kabiama has already designed a way to take them out of the way, because anything that would stop the exodus of Israel from Egypt, God of heaven would never allow it. So that is why you must rise up now as a child of heaven and say, no way, we are not going. I know you lost your network,
Mazi,
so let me
I
round up
think maybe
my
you
point.
can hear me now. The
Yeah,
network signal went
and I'm
off.
sure
It has been like this
me
for about 3 days now, so
yeah,
not been stable.
Let me quickly
Are you still here,
run it
Mazi?
down. Are you hearing me, Kelechi?
I think my network signal is back. So let me quickly have you to comment on this before you go.
I am already
Can you
commenting
hear
on
me?
that while you were away.
Mazi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was already commenting on it while you were away, so don't
in
worry.
case,
Let me just round up.
I don't know
just
whether he's still
8
here
minutes.
because I can't. His video is frozen. But if you can hear me, please, anyone who can hear me, just send me a message so that I know that you can hear me, so I can go on. Now, from what I read previously, you discovered that there's a mixture of diabolism and, of course, manipulation being used as by those people who actually want to overcome and override and subjugate people, you know, to keep them under that subjugation. Okay. You can hear me, right? Emmanuel Obino, you said he's okay. Okay, are you saying Mazi, Raf?
I was already flowing, and I knew you couldn't hear me because of
I'm
your
not hearing
network. I
him,
was
but you
already
guys
trying
can
to
hear
round
him.
up.
Wow. Okay, you can hear me now. Can you hear me? I can't hear him. I don't know. Mazi, Raf, in case you can hear me, please just go out briefly and come in so that I ask you the last question. And then, okay, you can hear me too and hear him too. All right, Mazi, please go out and come in so that I can ask you the last question before you go. You know, okay. As soon as he comes back, I'm going to ask him the last question so that when he goes, then we can continue because he has a limited time, you know. He has a limited time to be here. And so I'm going to be asking the last question. All right, he's here already. So, Mazi, sorry for that distortion. It's actually my network signal. It's not actually giving me the visible. He's not yet visible. So please, now I was trying to say something from what we read. Okay, we hear Mazi and hear you clearly. Okay. Mazi, okay, Mazi, you can hear me now, right?
I
Mazi,
could
can
hear
hear me,
you.
right?
I could hear you very well.
Okay.
I knew your network was bad, but I was flowing on along,
Okay.
but you didn't
Oh,
allow me
wow.
to finish
That's
it.
good. All right, let me
But
ask you this last question.
I am going to be leaving because my time is almost up. And
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
actually making some points, but your network didn't allow you to understand that I was already flowing along.
Okay, please make your last point based on what is happening and the circumstances, and then way forward so that you can go because of your time. So next time,
like I was telling them, these people have their project, in hand. There is a caller that called me, and oh my God, these people, they should learn how not to disturb me when I am running this thing. Okay. So there is a caller that called, and she said she was very angry. I don't know that some of these are people. We don't have the time for call yet, and then somebody called me. I promised to call her back.
No problem. If she wants to call in, she can call in. Maybe she wants everybody to hear what she wants to say.
Let me put her on the phone if she can use 3 minutes to talk. Okay. Then we need to schedule to do this program outside my work time.
Okay. We're going to try to do that so that we can have enough time together.
Because that's the point I really wanted to talk about. People that are thinking they can take back Nigeria. Okay, please go ahead. You have 3 minutes to use on my time. Just go ahead and do that very, very quickly.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What I want to say is this. Biafrans are not serious. Biafrans are not serious to go out from Nigeria next year. Even this place that I am, I was talking to one man. The man was telling me that the best thing that will happen to Biafran is to leave Nigeria because what the caliphate is planning is too much. Coming to Ifeanyi Ejiofor, after the second court of Mazen Nadekan, I dreamt about Ifeanyi Ejiofor. A whirlwind was pursuing him from one house to the other, and nobody was able to call him in. Ifeanyi Ejiofor is not pure. Because right from the time he's bringing messages from DSS, I knew Mazen Nadekan cannot talk like that. Because that time, Ifeanyi was neither there nor here. Ifeanyi should leave the Lego team as soon as possible. He should. Because everything that is going on in this struggle, they are all caused by him. Ifeanyi caused everything. Let him go. Let him go.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you very much. We will need to get your voice when we have a longer time to talk. Or you can call Kelechi back and talk more to Biafrans that are watching so that you will talk more about the revelation you had about that agent of devil, the mole in our midst, Ifeanyi Ejiofor. You can call Kelechi back and talk to them because I'll be going back to work now. Let me quickly round up my section. Thank you very much, my sister.
You're welcome.
All right. So, quickly, Umu Chineke, I am trying to make you understand that there is no way these people can deny. Ifeanyi Ejiofor knows very well that there is no hope for Nigeria. He has been listening to Mazen Namdekan. You have been representing your client, Mazen Namdekan. And you know that Mazen Namdekan does not believe in Nigeria. He doesn't believe that there is hope for Nigeria. He doesn't believe that there is hope for Biafrans in Nigeria. He knows that Nigeria is over and done with. And then all you are doing is to buy time for the caliphate to continue to subjugate us and destroy us. Now, Biafrans that know what they want, know what to do. I am nobody to tell you what to do to Ifeanyi Ejiofor or how to stop him. We know what to do, we know how to stop him, and we are going to stop anyone that wants to stop Biafra in 2023. I'm telling you the truth. Now, Mazi Kelechi, there's something I really wanted to discuss. Maybe when I start that program, I would even want you to join me, if possible, this evening. I want to ask people questions. I wanted to talk about it briefly, but I didn't have time. You know, people are banking on taking back Nigeria. Some of the people that are supporting P2B and doing all this nonsense, they believe they can take back Nigeria. The question is, how can you take back what have already been sold? Like, if you go to a bazaar now, they sell a product to you. They say, going, gone. Can you get back that thing that you sold?
How can you take back somebody else's business?
Thank you. A business that have been set up and people paid and bought it.
British
Now you
business.
want to get it back. They are
Yes.
saying they can take it back. We are going to take back our country. Which country? Was Nigeria ever a country? And now, come to think of it, how can you want to take back something that, you know, doesn't even belong to you, something that was organized without your consent, without you knowing it, and then packed you inside? And the people that bought Nigeria and put the money in the pocket are the set of people that are coming back now, telling you they want to save it. All the money that they sold Nigeria from, the money they got from the sale of Nigeria, is in the pocket of Atiku. It's in the pocket of Tinubu. They sold it already. And you want to get it back through those same people that sold it and that have the money in their pocket. We are going to talk about this more, my brother. Thank you for this short time I have.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yes.
I beg you to go ahead and subscribe to this particular station. This Biafran Global Network.
Biafra Global Network.
Biafra Global Network. Please go and hit the subscription button. Share these programs. Mazi Kelechi, I really appreciate you. You are wonderful. You are doing wonderfully well. Considering where you are right now and doing this job, may Chukwu bless you mightily, tremendously, beyond your expectation. In the mighty name of Chukwu. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mazi. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Please, we're going to have you more and more, and we're going to continue later. Let's allow you to go. Thank you, Biafrans. Please say appreciate Mazi. He has really spoken well to us and all of that. And please, we should all bear in mind that the things we have said here are things that we have decided, and every one of you are involved. We are dedicated to our freedom, and we will smash anyone who comes our way. So they should all know. We should pass the message to them, and of course, wherever you see them on social media, wherever they are, make them understand our stance. Nothing you will do that will stop us from getting what we want to get. Our freedom is more important than you and your paymasters. Our freedom is more important than any of them and their paymasters. I want to appreciate Mazi Ajere. And please, if you are here, you have not subscribed to his channel, you go there also and subscribe to that channel, because we work in tandem, we work in hand, and we're working for the service of Biafrans. We are serving Biafrans, and we want you to always be on our platforms at any time so that we can collectively do what we have to do. So please go there and subscribe and be part of the messages that are coming from that hallowed platform, and together we run this race and get our freedom. I want to appreciate you all. Now, he was saying something critical about these people running on the template of their masters, especially Soludo, Peter Obi, and all these people. And of course, we know using the legal person who actually, you know what? Let me tell you guys something. Do you know why Ejiofor is very strategic in this their plan? Because Ejiofor is a lawyer. That's what he's called. But to me, he doesn't qualify to be a lawyer. If I stand with him in a case, I'm going to win the case. In spite of his legal background, if I stand with him, I've accessed his level of reasoning and thinking. I don't even need to go to law school to actually get to know what to do about common. Is it not the Constitution and the law? I'll look at it and I'm going to explain it better than him. Because if I stand with him in a case, I'll win that case and I'll defeat him. He doesn't have what it takes. So now, do you know why? Now they know he's a lawyer, according to what he calls himself. And now they know that he is representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They also know that you are so passionate about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And so they know that he's occupying a particular strategic position, knowing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is actually the one who told him or maybe contracted him, to actually represent him. And so, representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are going to apply the same emotional approach to him based on the fact that he actually represents somebody you love. That is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So now they know that he's in a strategic position to actually do the bidding of the Fulanis by penetrating your emotion. And how he's going to do that is that he's going to continue to speak on all those narratives that he brings up and writes every time, and all of that, talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being resolute, being firm in the spirit, and believing on this and all of that. They know they're going to use him in that narrative to enter into you, and you keep loving him. They used him for almost 1 year doing that, and then everyone are falling in love with him. People went to his pages, people went to his YouTube channel, subscribed, people went to his pages, they joined him, they joined him, and they became his friend and all of that. People started going, because they want to actually reach Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the lawyer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is another way or emotional center point to reach out to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So we all got there and subscribed and then grabbed him. And then he started coming all out to show the plan of the caliphate. Now they use him to All they used to now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be calming the people. You're going to be making the people believe in the judicial system. You will make them believe in the judicial system as we are running. Just make them believe in the judicial system. I didn't want to talk about this today, but I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to dig in deep into this matter because tomorrow is the Tide of Affairs program where we're going to be talking about things that concerns us, the current affairs, and things that are working currently in our system and all of that. But today is his evident history, where we are talking about historic things or things of the past or history and explaining them in the context of what is happening right now. And that is where we're going. I'm going to play a particular video, of Atiku and his statement relating it to this Dan Fodio's program. Now, but before I play that video, I'm going to read some things about Usman Dan Fodio so that you can understand what I'm saying. Now, as soon as I read them, then I now get you to understand these things in light of what they are. Now, listen carefully. Now I'm going to get to it. In the 1790s, Usman later had visions of Abdul, the founder of Ascension to Heaven, where he was initiated into. Now let's leave that point. Let's go to the next. His theoretical writing dealt with concepts of Mujaddid, that's renewer, and the role of the ulama in teaching history, and other works in Arabic and Fula language. Their attention is about Arabic because that is their source, and then their attention is also Fula because that is their religion. So the concentration and the system, that is why you see that the Arabic world or the Arab world is supporting them, because they are like the middle people between the Arabs and this and us. So for the Arabs to actually conquer us, they need the Fulas or the Fulanis. So that is why they fund them. They are giving them weapons from every corner and all of that. And when they fund them, because they are from them, they originated from the Arabs. When the Arabs were, taking their women and all of that, and from there they start giving back to all these people, and they increased. So they pass into them the doctrine of evil, the doctrine of jihad, the doctrine of anger, bitterness, conquest, the doctrine of, they made them so impoverished that they didn't allow them seek knowledge through Western education or not education that will impact them rightly. Rather, they embedded them into study of theology under the Islamic processes and all of that, so that they would be infested with that desire to actually carry out jihad according to how they have programmed it for them to understand. And because they are not educated, whatever they tell them, they say, Allah say this, they are carried out like that. To conquer indigenous people in the Sahel. That is why they begin to push them into the Sahel. Now look at it here. Now you see that it is other works in Arabic and the Fula language. The concept here is to actually impose religion, at the same time impose culture, because that religion will work effectively with the Fula culture or the Fulani language, which represents their culture. So when they bring in the Fulani concept into the system, they will only utilize that based on religion, because religion will say, okay, we are talking about God here, and then they are forcing you to their culture. Usman broke the royal court and used his influence to secure approval for creating a religious community in his hometown of Degel that would be hoped to be a model town. He stayed there for 20 years, writing, teaching, and preaching. Why was he writing, teaching, and preaching? Somebody should ask that question. Why was he writing, teaching, and preaching? You know why? He needed to penetrate the people, whether through books, whether through teaching, because he was a teacher. He was teaching anytime they come together for their learning and all of that, their schools and all of that. They had their Islamic schools and all of that. He kept being there consistently, indoctrinating the people through teachings. And then he imparted all of these details, submitted them, and reiterated them in his write-ups, so that when you take a book, it is about jihad. When he comes to talk to you, it's about jihad. Every corner, when they train you in their culture, it is about jihad. Everything they give to you, everything they talk to you about, is about jihad. It becomes a part of you, because what you keep hearing every time becomes part of you, because your system adjusts to it and takes it as it is. Now, let me read on. As in other Islamic society, the autonomy of Muslim communities under ulama leadership made it possible to resist the state and the state vision of Islam in the name of Sharia and the ideal caliphate. So you see, they were able to resist the state in the name of Islam. That was better, and the Sharia and the caliphate and all of that became more superior than all of these. So now let me read on, please, because of time. I want us to finish this lesson today because of time. In 1780s to 1790s, Usman's reputation increased as he appealed to justice and morality and rallied the outcast of Hausa societies. Now, you see it now. Now, you know that in every system, there's always people who are disgruntled about their leaders. It's natural. So Usman now capitalized on that. He started penetrating all these ones who are disgruntled, who felt like outcasts of the Hausa communities. Now, he kept preaching, teaching, writing. These ones were absorbing what he was teaching and preaching and writing. And then as they were absorbing all of these details, they now became emotionally attached, just like what the zoo is doing now with Ifeanyi Ejiofor. They used him to be using the concept of law to be penetrating you as if the judiciary is working, and then you begin to think of justice through Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Ifeanyi Ejiofor's activity will bring justice. They will begin to make you, now you begin to believe in him. When he sends a message, you say, may Chukwu Kikema bless you, Chukwu Kike bless you, may Chukwu do this, may Chukwu do that. He keeps telling Umu Chineke, he keeps giving you all these details to penetrate you emotionally. The same way the caliphate or the first caliph, Usman Dan Fodio, did to the Hausas. Now, in that regard, he increased in their minds. He became a superior being. He became a superior subject. He became so much loved by the people because of the way he was teaching morals, using the concept of religion, at the same time telling them how Fulani is a very good, they're all good people who are looking for the well-being of humanity. You know what happened? The Hausa peasants, slaves, and preachers supported Usman, as well as the Fulbe and Fulani pastoralists. Suddenly, they started seeing the Fulanis as their saviors, because they now thought that their own people are very wicked. Their own people have gone against Allah. Their own people are no more of God. Their own people are wicked. They started going after Usman. Usman was using that opportunity to penetrate them. He was using that opportunity to captivate them and all of that. And then before you know, these peasants, these people are not educated. They penetrated the uneducated. And you know that the uneducated are more than the educated. So these uneducated became their foot soldiers, became their stooges. These pastoralist communities were led by the clerics living in rural communities. Now, do you know what they did? In those places where they know these people are disgruntled, where these Hausa communities, where these outcasts were, they started sending people, their clerics, their imams, their teachers, which sat under the tutelage of Usman Dan Fodio. These people now started going to the communities, became local, teachers. They go to a community, they establish a system there, a teaching platform or a mosque. They start teaching the people in that community. They penetrated all communities, just like what they are trying to do in our communities. They get the institute, Hausa communities. They call it Hausa communities, whereas it's Fulani community. Because have you ever heard of any Hausa king? You will always hear of Emir, Fulani rulers. Anytime they come to your community, it is they call it Hausa community. But the people who are always instituted as emirs are Fulanis, or as leaders or rulers. The people who are always installed as kings in their own rights are Fulanis, the Fulani system, emirs. The same way Usman Dan Fodio did. He became the first caliph, started instituting all of those stuff. They never institute the Hausa king there. They institute the Fulani king there. Every community they come into, the same way they were doing here, they were now moving people into the communities. Today in Biafra land, in the south and in Biafra land, all over the south, both in Oduduwa land, what we have is Fulani communities. You will see them clustered somewhere. They are growing. They are making that place grow. They are penetrating. They are storing weapons in those places. They are listening to their radios. They are doing everything within their system. That place is a no-go area. You cannot penetrate that place. Check it out. Both in Lagos, both in Biafra land, both in the south, everywhere everywhere they have their communities. You know how? They will keep from there. They will be penetrating the people. You remember I showed you a video where they begin to carry our little girls, begin to manipulate them, give them little money. These ones who are hungry, they give them little money, begin to manipulate them. They are penetrating us socially the same way they did to these people in the past. So these clerics started penetrating the communities. Now, do you know what they did? Well, they were led by the cleric living in rural communities who were full day speakers. and closely connected to the pastoralists. Many of Usman's followers later hold the most important offices of the states. So you see, those ones whom he has indoctrinated became the ones that now became the ones he set in all communities to control and to further the concept of his planned jihad, which he began with social revolution by penetrating the people. Usman's jihad served to integrate a number of people into a single religious political movement. You see it? Before you know it, he has formed a single religious political movement. And now with the center or the concept of that one religion that is Fulani, or the center of one culture that is Fulani, using the religion of Islam. So as soon as he was able to institute that mindset of believing in Fulani, in those Hausa peasants, they now accepted his way and his doctrine of jihad, which is religious. So he penetrated them culturally, used his culture to overwhelm them, and then using the Islam as a basis of passing that culture into them. Now let me read on. I hope you're understanding this. I'm making it very fast so that we can finish this lesson today, because I want us to finish with this. Is the third time we're dealing on this, so I want to finish this so we can go to something else. In 1798 and 1797, 98, King Nafata of Gobir forbade sheikh to preach, wear turbans, and veil prohibited conversions, and ordered converts to Islam to return to their old religion. Now you see, when this man was going to sense this Nafata of Gobir is Sokoto, when he began to sense some kind of a control here, he began to order the people to go back to their religion, their old religion. This was highly resented by Usman, who wrote in his book Tabi al-Ikwan ala Awal al-Sudan, concerning the government of our country and neighboring countries in the Sudan. That's what it means. Usman resented that thing because he knows that when the people go back to their old religion, they would defeat him. He will not be able to achieve that jihad he was planning. He needed the people to continue in his own religion that he has instituted, that actually has epitome of jihad, conquest. So you know what he did? He now wrote a book on that in that regard that is actually spelled this way: the government of our country and neighboring countries in Sudan. Usman wrote in that book, the government of a country is the government of its king, without question. Did you hear that? The government of a country is the government of its king, without question. If the king is Muslim, his land is Muslim. If he is an unbeliever, his land is a land of unbelievers. In these circumstances, it is obligatory for anyone to leave for another country. You see now, you see the logic he brought into this thing. You know, trying to pass on the information to them that their king is an unbeliever. That means they too are unbelievers. So they have to take charge of their king, or take down their king, or remove their king, so that they will become believers. He tells them that as much as you have this king as your believer, as your king, who is an unbeliever, you are also an unbeliever. And for you to escape being an unbeliever, and of course, to do that means you have to go to another country, but you have to remain in your country. So you have to defeat this concept. That means I'm employing you, indirectly employing them to fight against the king. In 1902, Nafata's successor, Yunfa, a former student of Usman, turned against him. You see, Yunfa, who was a former student of Usman, now who is this a successor of Nafata, that king, turned against Nafata. You know why? Because of that Usman's teachings. Usman's teachings indoctrinated him, because of course it says here that he was a former student of Usman. He turned against the king and revoking Dengel's autonomy and attempting to assassinate Usman. Now he said a former student of Usman turned against Usman, revoking Dengel's autonomy. Now you see, complications now started. Now this Yunfa also, who became a successor of Nafata, who was also a former student of Usman, saw an opportunity in what Usman was doing, decided now to turn against and assassinate Usman. You see, now everybody knew what they wanted. So Usman then turned for aid to the other leaders of the Hausa states, warning them that Usman could Yunfa turned for aid and warning them that Usman could trigger a widespread jihad. You see, Yunfa was a student of Usman. He understood everything Usman was trying to plan and what Usman represented. So you know what he did? He now began to turn to other kings, other leaders in the Hausa state, in Gobir and other parts of the Hausa state. He began to talk to them. This man is dangerous. This man is dangerous. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came, having been under this Nigeria contraption, seeing all the dangers that Nigeria represents, he's now coming out. He's saying, Fulanis are dangerous. These people are dangerous. I need the weapons. These people are going to come. You remember him talking about these things. Our people were rejecting. Our people were refusing. The same role that Yunfa played in that dispensation, the same role that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is playing today. In extension, Mazi Samanepa, warning the people that these people are planning a jihad. The same role that Malaifa also played, warning the people that they are bringing war. That is how the message, that is how God first warned the people. When the people become stiff-necked, when the people reject it, God makes them suffer. The Hausas were being warned, but they didn't listen. They didn't listen. This Yunfa sat under Usman. He knew the plans of Usman. He was warning the people. The people didn't listen. In February 1804, Usman and his followers carried out a hijra, that's migration, to the western grasslands of Gudu, where they turned for help to the local Fulani nomads. Now you see, they have now perfected their plan. They now went to the grassland of Gudu, which is a community, where they turned for help to them, because Gudu was a powerful community then, to the local Fulani nomads. Now he went there, told them how he has been able to indoctrinate, and he has a ready soldier for him that will fight with him. He turned to them, I need people. Just like how Buhari and co opened the floodgates of the northern borders, bringing all these nomads, bringing them from everywhere, from the Sahel, from everywhere, into the zoo. The same way Usman also turned to these people, asking them for help, to the local nomads. Usman followers entitled him the commander of the believers. Now you see, he brought the concept of, you remember, he has said that Nafata was not, that king was not a true believer. He said, if your king is an unbeliever, you are an unbeliever. So now he has made them understand that they should not be unbelievers, that he's a believer and they are believers. So now they now said, okay, we're going to make you the commander of the believers. We are now believers. So now, okay, so we are believers and the king is not a believer. Okay, we are now believers. So we're going to make you the commander of the believers because you are the one who taught us and may open our eyes to understand that we are believers. So now that you have opened our eyes to know that we are believers, we are going to come and put you as a commander of the believers. That means us. You are our commander. You're going to lead us into this jihad. What was that? What does that mean? Commander of the believers means, it's written in their languages, Amir al-Mu'minim. Amir al-Mu'minim. That's commander of the believers. And elected him as the leader. That is how they brought him as the leader. You see how it is. They also gave him the title Sakim Muslim, head of Muslims, to Usman. They gave him that title. In the same year, Usman started the jihad and founded the Sokoto Caliphate. Now you see the way he penetrated. Do you see how he penetrated? Now, let me tell you something. Those ones whom Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been talking about, Sam and Ekpa have been talking about, saying that these people are coming, they are coming, they are coming. Now they are bringing people whom they have put as their stooges. And these people have crowned some people who are their kings, those ones we want to go for to vote as in elections. They are the ones they have crowned now to carry out the jihad, including Peter Obi. They must carry out the plan of the caliphate because the caliphate has been designed and mandated by the template of Usman Dan Fodio to continue this line of action. And the only way they can do it is to keep deceiving people. You must deceive people. You must flatter them to conquer them. And the only way you can deceive them effectively is to use the tool of religion and to superimpose your culture over them. That is why they tell you that pastoral roots, Ruga, that is culture. Ruga must be maintained, that is culture. Then they tell you Sharia, that is the religion. Sharia is the religion. Ruga is the culture. Ruga tells you the Fulanis, this is how they live. This is how they live. This is how they live. They carry cattle everywhere. They carry cattle everywhere. That's their culture. That's how they live. You must maintain that route. Then Sharia tells you that we want you to believe in God. We want you to do things according to God. We want you to stay in the line of God. We want to stay in the details of God and all of that. That is the strategy. And then they will now come with their people whom they have put like Atiku or Tinubu or Obi or any other person they have designed, Shetima and all of that, working under these people, Okowa and all of that, who are advised to all these people, using them as a tool to now push forward the plan for the Ruga, the plan for the Sharia. Don't forget that it is the caliphate that actually nominated these people to take over all those positions, so that whichever one you vote for, that one represents them. So, but the caliphate is actually the one controlling. Remember, there's no democracy. They are presenting you to, it's a takia where they present these people to you so that the world will think that there's a democracy. But they have actually selected their best hands for the job. And I'll play one video where Atiku now tells you what that concept means. Listen to this video.
I think what the average northerner needs is somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria and who has been able to build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the northerner needs. He doesn't need a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate. This is what the northerner needs. So I believe I stand before you as a pan-Nigerian of northern origin. Thank you very much.
Now, did you hear that? They have made it that the north is the center of focus. Remember, the jihad began from there. Now, he says that he is well positioned to actually well and widely carry out this jihad without stress. That means, as a northerner, he already has a bridge all through. Remember, he married wives into other places because that's how they pass their seed and their children into all these communities, into Igbo land, into Biafra land, into the south, the Oduduwa land. They try to get wives everywhere where they're going to be putting their seed, their children. That children will be penetrating the community and working with the locals. The same way Usman's father also, got his children penetrating the locals. They were living in their midst. Now he says now that he is well positioned because he has built that bridge. He has actually placed those. He has had that connection. He has spread his tentacles. That is why you see that somebody like Obi bows to him, because Obi is one of the instruments of that bridge. Obi is already his subject. So he's telling you now that he has subjects. They are all his subjects. They bow to him. So it is better for him to take that position, because as a northerner, he is well grounded since he has covered all other aspects of the zoo. But for people, the concept here is that the control, he's telling you something here now. He says the control for the Nigeria, the contraption of Nigeria, is not in the hands of the southerners. It is in the hands of the northerners. So North needs that person who is a northerner, who is actually going to exert the control. So if you bring Tinubu and you bring Obi, they are only going to be contracted to do the job, but they are not going to actually represent the true control by a personal Fulani person taking that control. If you bring them, they are going to work what we want them to work, because they are already part of our subjects. He worships me, he bows to me. So if you bring Obi, he will still bow and worship me. But when you bring me in, I represent you coming, that the jihad is coming from that end of our side, the north. We are supposed to dominate every other side. So we're not going to give room for these stooges, these ones who are already under our control, to actually take that position. Even if we have to put it this way because of the situation where people are shouting, the East is saying, the Biafrans are saying they want to go for their own nation, to their own nation, and Oduduwa is saying they want to go into their own nation. But we don't want to put it that way. We have to bring these people as, just as a takia to deceive them, even if these people are going to do our work. But know that at least the concept here is that we will always tell the people that actually we brought your people, but I won. We brought Obi, but I won. We brought Tinubu, but I won. So that means everybody was represented. So the takia here is that we make it look like everybody's represented, but I am actually the candidate, because I am actually from the Fulani, clan, from the Fulani race, and I have already penetrated everywhere, having even these people that are coming out as a means of takia to the people, having them as my stooges. They worship me when they see me. So you see the concept of manipulation in this thing. You see the way they are manipulating the thing. That is how it is. This is how they do it. Now, let me tell you something. Let me read on so that you can understand. In the same year after he has been I think the network signal went bad, so we're back. Sorry for that break. In the same year, Usman started the jihad and founded the Sokoto Caliphate. By this time, Usman has assembled a wide following among the Fulani Hausa peasants and Tuareg nomads. So you see, he has penetrated them socially through a social revolution using religion and other kinds of teaching, morals, penetrating them to make them believe that it is all about God. This made him a political as well as religious leader. So you see, two fronts. You must overwhelm them politically, and then you must overwhelm them religiously. What do they do today to us? They use the religious leaders in our places to play down on what the caliphate is doing. When the caliphate is killing us, they no more say anything about it. They don't talk about it. They don't say anything about it. But when we take action, they begin to publicize it. We are not killers. We are peace lovers. We are this, blah, blah, blah. But when the Fulanis kill us, they don't tell them that, hey, you have killed us. Why would you kill us? But when we attack, when we revenge, or when we defend ourselves, they say we're not killers, we're not this. That is the strategy. Politically, religiously, they use it to deceive and manipulate you. And then politically, they are subduing you, giving him the authority to declare and pursue a jihad, raise an army, and become its commander. So you see, that is why you see that politically they are holding strong. They want to maintain political position. At the same time, they use their religious method, which their religious method is the one that pushes the jihadists, because jihad is a religious program to conquer. But the political method is to keep their people in every office, every political position, important political position, as you saw in the Abuja Declaration of 1989. You occupy them politically, and then you defeat them religiously using the jihad concept of our religion, of the Islamic religion, the jihad concept, which takia is one of the elements of that jihad, that jihad concept. They use it to conquer. Now see what he did. He raised an army. He became the commander because now he has gained political power. So he was able to raise an army and became the commander. So he has an army as much as he has also the foot soldiers, which just as they have today, they have their military, which is in the Nigeria contraption, and then they have their foot soldiers, which sponsored by the religious angle of jihad. So politically they come and tell you, please, we know that they're killing, there's killing, we are doing something about it. Then religiously, they're pushing those people, their foot soldiers. Then politically, they are sending their military to suppress you so that you don't fight these foot soldiers. The same thing they're doing in Biafra land. There was widespread uprising in Hausa land, and its leaders were largely composed of the Fulani and widely supported by the Hausa peasantry, who felt overtaxed. Now remember, they will make you feel that you are being punished by the government. The government is unfair. That's what they made them feel. who felt overtaxed and oppressed by their rulers. So the Hausa peasants felt overtaxed and oppressed by their rulers. After Usman's declaration of jihad, he gathered an army of Hausa warriors to attack Yunfa's forces in Suntua. Yunfa's army, composed of Hausa warriors and Tuareg allies, defeated Usman's forces and killed over 2,000 soldiers. That was the first fight. 200 of whom were Hafiz, memorizers of Quran. Yunfa's victory was short-lived as soon after Usman captured Kebir and Gwandu in the following year. So you see, when he couldn't penetrate Gobir and conquer Gobir, that's conquering Yunfa, who was his, remember, this Yunfa was his student. Now, when Yunfa became the king, he now also was telling other kings of the Hausa places, say, this man is dangerous, so I know him, I was under him. But they didn't do anything about it. They allowed Usman to gain strength because he penetrated Gudu and got the clearing of the Gudu people, gathered the disgruntled people and empowered them. And then they made him a king. They made him their king. They made him their commander of the believers. That's when they started coming. But Yunfa made a mistake. They couldn't attack him when he was doing all those gatherings. At the end of the war, Fulani communication was carried along trade routes. The call for jihad reached not only other Hausa states such as Kanu, Daura, Katsina, and Zaria, but also Borno, Gombe, Adamawa, Nupe. These were all places with major and minor groups of Fulani alims. By 1808, Usman has defeated the rulers of Gobir, Kanu, Katsina, and other Hausa kingdoms. After only a few years of Fulani war, Usman found himself in command of the Hausa state and the Fulani emir. The Sokoto Caliphate has become the largest state south of the Sahara at the time. In 1812, the Caliphate's administration was recognized with Usman's son, Muhammad Bello, and brother, Abdullah Dan Fodio, carrying on the jihad and administering the western and eastern governance respectively. Around this time, Usman returned to teaching and writing about Islam because he must continue the pace of keeping the people in that line of thought. He still went into teaching. He maintained that thing because he knows that is the weapon. That is why you see that everywhere what they do is that they try to keep teaching people what they want the people to believe. What they want the people to believe. Usman also worked to establish an efficient government grounded in Islamic law. As he's doing the teaching as a means of manipulating, he's also making sure that he grounds his government. He sets a government, establishes his government very well grounded in Islamic laws. The Sokoto Caliphate was a combination of an Islamic state and a modified Hausa. And you see, there's a man, sorry, my eyes is itching there. And there's a man who is a Biafran who came to tell you that he has, translated the Quran into our language. This is how they penetrate. This is how they penetrate socially and religiously. The Sokoto Caliphate was a combination of an Islamic state and a modified Hausa monarchy. Modified. Muhammad Bello introduced Islamic administration. Muslim judges. You see it, the same thing we have now. Market inspectors and prayer leaders were appointed because you keep praying, making the people pray in that concept of religion that you have introduced so that you can put them in bondage. Just like we have churches today. All they do is they make people pray, fall down and die, fall down and die. They don't tell them the truth. They make people believe that their problem is spiritual rather than looking at the physical angle of their problems. Where the government is the problem, where the attack of the Fulani is the problem. They don't want you to see that angle. They want to tell you that your problem is spiritual, from your family, from your household. One person in your family is pursuing you. One person, whereas they are not telling you that the government is the problem. The instituted government of the caliphate is the problem. They are the ones making things difficult for people. No good business, nothing is happening. How can you survive? How can you have good businesses? They now link it to spiritual problem, telling you that it's from your family. You begin to fight your own family. You become an enemy to your family members. You become an enemy to your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, all your family people. And then you begin to see your people as evil. Then you begin to fight your own self. That is the concept. That is the same way they were using these people against the Hausas, to make them believe that their own people is their problem, without making them understand that they are the ones who are the problems. That's the same concept. And an Islamic tax and land system was instituted with revenues on the land considered Karaj and the fees levied on individual subjects called jizya, as in classic Islamic times. The Fulani cattle herding nomads were sedentarized, and converted to sheep and goats raising as part of an effort to bring them under the rule of Muslim law. Mosque, madrasa were built to teach the populace Islam. You see it? Mosques and madrasas were built. Madrasas are smaller sizes of where they use in teaching the people. The state patronized large numbers of religious scholars and malams. Sufism became widespread. Arabic, Hausa, and Fulfulde languages saw a revival of poetry, and Islam was taught in Hausa and Fulfulde. They retained that language to make the people belong. And of course, we know he lived for 62 years. They retained the language to make the people feel belonged, but the people were under their control. So this is how Usman Dan Fodio defeated the Hausa kingdom. And today they are pushing it, using people like Ejiofor and other people to push it to us, want to subjugate us. And today we know their secrets, we know their templates. And let me tell you how they are going to fall, how they are falling. Because we have been able to discover their templates, and because we are resilient, and because we are able to discover their templates, they have fallen. The only way they are going to fall totally is for us now to begin to implement every plan against their plans. We already know their plans. We already know their programs. We already know those who are working for them, Ejiofor and Co. We already know them. We are very ready for them now. Very, very ready. Now let me read your messages so that we can round up, because it's already time. Let me go to the messages. Now, Edith Asoluka, we have finished the story of Usman Dan Fodio today. We're going to be going to next week, Tuesday. We're going to be going to another particular topic, which we are going to be looking at. And please, I want to know if I can donate through Western Union. Oh, my sister, no, you can't donate through Western Union. You just donate direct. Edith, please, you can't donate with Edith Asoluka. You can't donate through Western Union. You have to donate through the website www.ipobinusa.org/donate. www.ipob. Make sure you look at the spelling very well as I'm saying it. www.ipobinusa.org/donate. .org is dot, then org, org, slash, that's this line, this line that is side bending towards the right, and then donate, DONATE. So that's where you donate direct to and through the website, and it goes into the account that should take the resources, because we're not spreading all of these and paying from every corner, and we are trying to be careful too, so that the zoo government and their agents will not hijack it. So through the website, you go straight and donate. Wasted phone opportunities, this no-brainer. Wasted phone opportunity. I don't understand this M and N. Okay, all hail Biafra and Oduduwa Nation. One love. Andrew Orlando, thank you, Andrew, and of course, one love, Oduduwa. And I'm going to announce right at this time that we have succeeded and approved by Mazi Simon Ekpa. On this platform, we shall be hosting the Oduduwa Nation and media every Friday by 1 p.m. on this platform. The program will be the Alliance in Focus, and we're going to be having various topics under that program. The Alliance in Focus. We're going to be hosting the Oduduwa Nation and the media personnel of Oduduwa World and important people in Oduduwa World on this station, Biafra Global Network, every Friday, 1 p.m. Biafra time. We're going to be hosting them at different times, different people at different days and of the week and all of that. And every week, every last Friday of the week, we're going to have the joint, collaboration on that. We're going to have all the media personnel of the Oduduwa Nation and all the media personnel of the IPOB Autopilot media coming together in a mega joint conference where we're going to be talking massively together. So it's going to be a massive one. We are telling you today to know that it's a good news. Our alliance is gaining stronger grounds as we talk about what concerns us and our collective interest. The alliance have been sealed and signed by Mazi Samonekpa and Professor Akintoye, and that is strongly connected and have been sealed. And of course, we're going to be having now regular weekly discussion with Oduduwa Nation personnel coming up at different times. And of course, Koiki Media will be consistent with us. Koiki Media is consistent and of course adding other people as every week, depending on who is invited on each week. And they'll be joining us and we shall strongly be part of it. Of course, Prince Ezem Ihanacho also will be strongly with us on that day. He's going to be, on the Biafra nation side, and of course, and anytime we want to bring in somebody else to be with us, 3 of us will also join forces to see that we actually have to discuss with the Oduduwa world as we discuss our common interest based on the alliance. The program is titled "The Alliance in Focus." It will be every Friday. It has been approved by Mazi Samonekpa, approved and sealed. It is for us to continue to talk about our interests until we receive our freedom. And post-freedom, we keep talking about things that concerns us and how we can work in harmony and together. And we'll keep hosting important people in these two nations on this platform, Biafra Global Network. So please subscribe to this channel and also send a message around. Click like this video, please. Forward the message. Forward. You can also cut this part and forward to the people so that people can hear all over the place and they can be part of it strongly and be part of this so that they can enjoy what we have to offer in this regard. It's going to be very explosive. Every Friday, 1 p.m. Biafra time, we shall be having it and it's going to be massive. So let me go back to the messages. Edith Asaluka says, please, I want to know if I can donate. Okay, I've read it before. You can donate through the website, as I've mentioned. Diana, you said Agun Biade. You said wash. Oh, okay. I don't know how you guys do this wash thing. I don't know whether it's computer error or something. M&N, he said Joffa being held by the boss in the zoo. Of course, he's been held by the boss. Definitely, it's very obvious. He's been held by the boss, which somebody that that claims to that the zoo wanted to kill him. Suddenly he's going to DSS dungeon every time. Nothing is happening to him. He goes there, he returns to Abuja, his office. He's always going everywhere, flaunting and going around for shows and programs and partying everywhere, and nobody's doing anything to him. Don't you see that that's all those things, those killing things is a sham plan? It's a design, it's a sham. Their target was that guy they killed, that strong guy of Mazi Namdekan. That was their target. So it's obvious that he's actually playing the game of Fulanis and they hold him in his balls. Chinenye, sorry, Floxy, Chinenye, God bless you, Mazi Chiak. Okay, you're talking about our guest, Chiamaka. Yes, so Chiamaka, God bless you, sir, for being part of this. He's always, wonderful and always coming here to also be to co-host this program with me, and we talk together. He's a host on this program, but we are all colleagues. He's on all of that. So he's also a host. So you understand that. So on this platform, he's also a host. So we'll always be here every Tuesday and other times that we're going to have programs together. Once a while too, during the Alliance program too, he'll be around also to join forces with us until when we have before the general, every last Friday of the month, connection and collaboration. And he's going to hold the program name is, please write it down, The Alliance in Focus. That's the name of the program, The Alliance in Focus. Just like we have evidence history every Tuesday, we're going to be having The Alliance in Focus every Friday, 1 p.m. Biafra time. Okechukwu Owa says, Ifeanyi Ejiofor must have been angry on our leader for refusing to accept political solution. Of course, he want to try to play around. He knows Mazi Namdekan will not take that. So he'll just try to play around it. It is Asuluka. No, you can only donate through the website. Yeah, so Raf has given you the website too. So please go there and pay. Asuluka, Edith, please go there and pay. Afre Emmanuel, please, Mr. Kel, don't be angry with me for this question. It's true that 4 Umadas were suspended because they asked questions. I watched a woman saying this on YouTube, but I know it's untrue. Please, whenever you hear such stories, as much as Mazi Samonekpa has not come out to address it like that, if there's anything that goes wrong, Mazi Samonekpa will definitely deal with it and handle it. He's handling that. There's no way, of course, we know that in every, even within us, sometimes we argue. That doesn't mean we have misunderstanding. That doesn't mean that we are divided. We must argue when we come to anywhere you see people reasoning critically. There must be arguments. There must be disagreements. So when you see such kind of, some kind of rumors, disregard them. That is not the reason for the focus for Biafra. Anybody, soldier come, soldier go. That is how it is. Yesterday, people were here. Yesterday, I was not here. Today, I'm here. And if I misbehave, I'll be off. Just concentrate on the mandate. Our people should concentrate on the mandate. If it is necessary, Mazi Samanepa will address the issue and handle it. If there's a disagreement, he knows how to handle it. Every group, every organization has rules, and there will always be disgruntled people, and at the same time, there will always be way of settling matters. So don't bother about that. That is not the focus of our freedom fighting. The focus is Fulani, and let's leave every other gossips and all of that away. Kingsley Obidimma watching. Thank you so much, Kingsley, for watching. Also, let me go to the next message. Zokome, not real. Why does it feel like anything is hand on? Because Ejiofor wants himself to be M and N. You're saying this. Ejiofor wants himself to be relevant. He's projecting himself. He's the one being funded by the caliphate. He's the one being given money by the Southeast governors to actually push. That is why I told you I'm going to give you more information about this tomorrow. Please, tomorrow is Tide of Affairs program. Don't forget to come 1 p.m. here, Biafra time. I'm going to expose some critical things about the government, about Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and about their modus operandi, the mode of operation. Tomorrow is going to be wonderful. So, okay, Edith Asuluka is thanking Mazira for that, message and that response to her message. So we have please bear with me. The network signal just went bad again, and I'm trying to get everything back. Okay, we are back. We are back. So let me go to the message as it was, as it has been. We have oh my. Okay, let me go the messages as they have been. Please, the network signal is terrible here. I'm going to round up very soon. I want to just read our messages so that we can have an understanding of what we're doing. Let me go straight to where we were before this. I know many messages have come in, and of course, so I have to read them one after the other so that we can get the details of what people are saying, and at the same time to be able to. Okay, now we have the next message from. We have the next message from Amoku. Welcome, my comrade. I came in late. Okay, Amoku, please, and just watch the video later so I can get the details of what we have spoken. So many things have been said here. I have rushed that teaching. But as time goes on, I'll be explaining more on this. He was there to change people's interest, mindset. Yes, Onyechi, Fluxy, that's what, and we have caught him there. MNN, we are not discussing Ezokome because he is not the culprit. He's not part of it. Yes, Ezokome is not part of it. It is this man that is part of it, Ejiofor. Ugoeze Amaka, good evening, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much, Ugoeze Amaka. Good to have you here. And Rebecca Sharon, thank you for the love. I love you too from here. Rebecca Sharon, I love you too. And then, of course, we have a message from Unstoppable Movement TV. Fulanis are everywhere in Biafra land. Yeah, so they are everywhere. That is a strategy. That's one of their strategies. God bless you, people. Carol White, lawyer, is sabotaging Mazina Mikano and freedom fighting. Yeah, so he's advertising the bleaching cream at the same time, trying to sabotage. And those people who bleach, I don't know how they think anyways. For a man to be bleaching, you know that something is wrong with his brain. Emmanuel Obino, you are doing well, my brother. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that message. Emmanuel Obino, this is what the Fulani hates to hear. Yes, that's what they hate to hear. They don't want to hear it. And we'll keep telling them and making them understand that we know all of their plans and dictates. Also, Emmanuel Obino says Governor Wike did that already, and Governor Umahi. Yes, they already do that. They actually stooges also to these people. They were used to kill in Obibo and all of that. We heard, okay, and maybe you're saying something that I try to place here now. And we have also Onyechi Floxy. He said it all. He has said it all. Who has ears, let him hear. And the obedient. Those guys, they have their brain to be reset, and that's what we're trying to do here, to reset their brains. That Obi and others are assimilated. Yes, they have been assimilated into the concept of the Fulani caliphate, and we understand all of that. Onyi Akego. Okay. Where are you reading this history from? From Wikipedia. You get the message from Wikipedia. Onyi, you can go there. You'll see the message as clearly written there. M and N and security wise. Okay. Of course, we have Chinyere MC, greetings, Umuneke. And Bakar, that's Bakain that was talking rubbish the other time. You're here again. Oh my God. I don't know what you're saying, oh my God, about Bakain. Anyways, so let me see your next message to understand what you're trying to say. Good afternoon, Muchineke. Ikenna Abalobi. Thank you, Ikenna, for being here. Also, let me look at the next message. I like reading our messages until we are through with this, and then we close the program for today. Uchenna Victor, all hail Biafra. Yes, we all hail Biafra by our activities and our actions. And go ahead, Samuel Nekpa, watching a child of God, and long live you, my broadcaster. Also long live our great leader, Mazin Nakano. Thank you so much, Diala John. Thank you so much for that. I'm grateful. Thank you, Diala John. And we have Michael Kalu. God bless you richly, Mazin. Thank you so much. God bless you too, my brother. Thank you for that prayer. Uchenna Victor says, all hail Biafra. Yes, so all must hail Biafra. Onyemachi says, good afternoon, sir. God bless you all in Jesus' name. I say to that prayer, amen. Thank you so much. Emmanuel Obino says, now they are calling themselves Northerners, while we don't call ourselves Southerners. That's it. That's the strategy. It's also the templates they have to run on to actually do the evil they are doing. M and N says religion as weapon of control. Yes, that's it. Religion is a weapon of control. That is why we are preaching God. We're not preaching religion. When we talk about God, we talk about true God, Chukokike, Elohim. We don't talk about religion because he is actually our religion. Chukokike is our religion and our God. So we don't believe in all this man-made religion. You know, Emenike Chibo says, you're correct, sir. Yes, so that's it. That's basically what it is. Gatti Ugo says, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Gatti. Thank you so much, Gatti. MNN, post link, please. Which particular link are you talking about here, MNN? Is this link for the article I was reading, IPOP Autopilot? And please make me understand the link you're talking about here, my brother, so that I can post it. And just go to Wikipedia. If it has to do with Usman Dan Fodio, just go to Wikipedia. Onyendu is highly spiritual and praying in that dungeon for God to fight his battles. So all who are involved in his kidnap and planned evil against him are going down. Don't be surprised. Things happening now. All collecting money, threatening. That's it, my brother. Mania Tech, thank you so much for that. You are saying the correct thing here. That is what is happening. He's praying. He's a spiritual man. So definitely God Chukwokike is by his side. Emeka Isaac, and God bless you for good job. Thank you so much, Emeka Isaac, for that. Thank you for that prayer. And also, let's look at this also from Ikenna Abalobi. Wow, that's cool. The autopilots are really wise. Thank you so much, my brother Ikenna. And also, of course, we have a message from MN, payment link. The link has been posted by Mazi Raf. www. If you look at the scrolling, just scrolling on the screen, join those making history to restore our freedom by donating to support the Eastern Security Network, ESN, in defense of our land against terrorists through the website. See, the website is on the screen, www.ipobinUSA.org/donate. Please, that is the link, so you can have that, and of course, so you can be part of those who are making history at this our time. We must get our freedom. That is a very good one. Seth. Oh, great. Seth, you're here. One noche. Okay, one noche. And Seth, thank you for being here. I saw you yesterday also. I pray that. Where is Tina Martinsos? I've not seen you. I want to summon you here now. I want to ask you a question. Tina Martinsos, are you here? Let me see your message. Because to summon you before everybody here. Today you are going to answer a question. You know, I pray Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out soon and deal with all the enemies of Biafra in that stupid DOS. DOS is no more containing those people. They are sacked members of the DOS. They are sacked. They are defunct members. They are not DOS. They are not DOS. They are sacked members of DOS. Mikena. So please take notes, please. Uzamaka Nicholas. Good afternoon, Mazi Chiamaka. Yes, so Mazi Chiamaka is still here with us. He's working, but he's still here with us. Nicholas Uzamaka. Good afternoon, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you so much, my brother. And Mazi Chiamaka too has taken your greeting. Religion is instituted by Roman in order to control the crowd population. Religion has been an institution, long used even before the Roman Empire. That is the same way that Fulanis also took it from the Roman, Empire, the British Empire, and all the empires that have ruled. They took it from there to extend it to what they are doing today. So the Roman Empire has always been part of using religion as a template, as much as the Egyptian Empire, the Persian Empire, the Assyrian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, Middle Persian Empire, the Grecian Empire, before the Roman Empire and British Empire and all of that. So they have been using all of these as a tool. Then the Fulanis also started using it as a tool too. So it's been a template. That's why they go into Islamic studies, they go into religious studies, because that's where they get the details of the template on how to conquer other people. Ahaya, Igbo, Yahuda. Igbo _ Yahuda. Religion is instituted by Roman in order to control the crowd population. Your body is the only temple of God, and He's within and inside of you. Yes, that's true, my brother. Our bodies are the temple of God, and GSS is a Geofor security guard now. Yes, that's what it is. He's the one who told them to stop Jimakov from coming to the court. Remember all those shenanigans? He came out and said, "Yeah, they're not allowing some of our lawyers to come in, and I'm going to see to that." You see, they didn't allow some of our lawyers to come in. They stopped them and blah blah. All those things were drama. He called Mazi Simon Ekpa and told him that he makes sure that Jimakov does not come into the court, and he didn't come. And now he came to play drama in our face to make us think. We're going to talk about all of these tomorrow. It's going to be critical here tomorrow as you join forces with me as we look at this. Thank you all for coming. I want to stop it here so that we can have a time, for people to also watch, because we don't make it too long. It's already 1 minute and 57 seconds. Sorry, 1 hour 57 minutes. We have taken much time, and thank you all for being part of this. I love you all. Thank you. Please subscribe to this channel, please. It is very important. It is our role to play for us to subscribe so that we can spread this gospel. We have to boost our own channels and all of that. And then also like this video. Don't just watch. Like the video and then share on all your social media platforms. The most important thing you can do in this Biafra movement time and the Pro-Max stage is for you to share messages so that other Biafrans and even our enemies can get all of these details, and other people of Oduduwa race also can listen, because we are working together with the Oduduwa people today. We're not just working on our own, we're working with the Oduduwa nation. So please, as I told you, the announcement I gave on Fridays, we're going to be having the Alliance in focus, and we're going to be having the Oduduwa nation partnering with us every Friday 1 p.m. Biafra time. Oduduwa Nation is partnering with us on that program, on this platform, Biafra Global Network. They're going to be here with us, and together we're going to be riding on the auspices of our freedom, through the template of the Alliance, and you will get the information and details. Tomorrow is Tide of History. We're going to be looking at Ejiofor and all the sabotaging program and the designs of the caliphate using Ejiofor. You're going to hear some critical things that will blow your mind tomorrow. I'm going to analyze these things in details, and then you can understand how they roll and how these things are played. Thank you all. Please keep praying for us, because we know that they're always coming, attacking every attack from every corner. Keep praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We know that God is with him strongly. I pray for him every day. I pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa every day. Also pray for Professor Banji. Pray for Sunday Igboho. Pray for Koiki Media. Pray for all these people. Pray for IPOB Autopilot Media. Pray for Umuada. Pray for everyone who is working, doing in different committees, doing the work of freedom, doing the work to make sure that our freedom comes and we are not taken unawares, that we all become part of this. And please, let's all put hands together to make sure that our freedom comes, and it is already 110 days to our freedom. I want to thank you all for being part of this, and I say I love you all. Thank you all for watching. Please share, subscribe, and also like this video. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mazi, Ajere, Chiamaka, Raf, for being part of this today and for sharing your thoughts on this and teaching and making Biafrans understand some of these details. I want to thank Mazi Samanepa for the privilege and opportunity and for making us all stand strong in this thing and for steering this ship and making sure that this thing continues and for keeping faith to the promise he made to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want to thank you all for being part of this. Thank you all. I love you all from here. God bless you really good. And make sure you stay safe and secure and make sure you believe in what is going to happen. Tomorrow, I'm going to play a particular video that I didn't play today. And I'm going to use it to analyze the Nigeria system and at the same time explain what I'm talking about so that you can understand. Thank you all. I love you all. And stay safe and secure. Chukwu Okike bless you all. He said,